Come here, Squib.
There we are. Well, Emma, you're a remarkably good shot.
Hello, Parker.
Miss Wedgwood?
You've met my cousin, Mr. Darwin, before.
Sir?
He's fast, eh?
Fastest in the county.
You breed him yourself?
I mated him with a bitch who was pretty swift.
And how would you breed a fellow like Squib here?
From the runts, I suppose.
How dare you? Squib is quite as nice as any of your rotten dogs.
It's true. It's from the runts and monsters that breeders can produce tailless cats. Or pygmies, like Squib.
I'm not listening to any more of this. Take me back to the house at once and stop saying horrid things.
From wolves to greyhounds. From bulldogs to fellows like Squib. In what? A matter of a few hundred years. I take it you don't find talk of dogs all that interesting.
I can think of more interesting topics of conversation.
Such as?
The novels of Miss Austen.
And what does she have to say about selective breeding?
Nothing, as I recall.
Well, that's a great pity. Why shouldn't nature produce such differences? These different breeds of dog.
Why should it? What would be the point?
Survival.
In nature, a little poppet like Squib, who was the smallest in her litter, would die. You nearly did die, didn't you?
Yes, that's true, but what about the one with a little more vigour? Or a head start? Because of some peculiarity?
Such as?
A puppy, born with an extra thick coat in a hot climate would be a monstrosity. But in a cold climate, that would be a good adaptation. That puppy would have an advantage. Got you.
Charles.
Emma?
Let me go.
Not until you've paid the toll.
Which is?
A kiss. For me, rather than the dog.
You can make a big dog or a small dog, but you can't produce feathers on a dog. Nor can you create organs as miraculous as the heart and the eyes. That can only be the work of God.
Hurry up. It's these blasted ties.
Marry, not marry. Marry children, if it please God.
Give me that. It's private.
Nonsense. I'm your brother. You've no secrets from me.
Yes, I do. I have secrets from everybody. Give it to me.
Thank you, Garman. Constant companion and friend in old age.
Raz?
Object to be loved and played with better than a dog, anyhow. You old romantic.
Well, it's intolerable to think of oneself spending one's life like a neuter bee, working, working, working.
And all this is a response to your trip to Cousin Emma's?
Not necessarily.
Well, you don't know anyone else. No, it's true. Your collection won't be complete without that most interesting specimen in the whole series of vertebrate mammals.
And why haven't you married, if it's such an enviable state?
Oh, I'm too lazy to take on anything requiring as much effort as a wife and family. But you're the marrying kind.
Good Lord, what's that? We're being mobbed.
They probably think we're poor law commissioners.
Why would they think that?
It's enough that we're top-hatted toffs in a smart carriage and they're scavenging on rubbish heaps, starving to death. Too many people, not enough food.
Thank God we'll always have food on our plates.
Speaking of which, I think I'll have the turbot in the white sauce.
Cabbage, sprout, cauliflower. All bred from the same ancestor. Cabbage, the leaves. Sprouts, the side buds. Cauliflower, the flower head. All monstrously enlarged.
Sitting opposite me is that strange creature, Homo thesis. Half man, half theory.
A word of advice. In my entire life, I have known only 3 women who were skeptics, and 2 of them were not permitted in polite society. Keep your theory from Emma. It's too late.
I told her. Well, sort of. Not a theory. I don't have a theory. Just thoughts.
How did she take it?
She asked me to read her favorite part of the New Testament. Our Saviour's farewell to his disciples.
You see what I mean?
I am the vine, and ye are the branches. If man abide not in me...
Wilberforce's ears have pricked up.
If man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered. And men shall gather them, and they shall be cast into the fire, and they are burned.
And how is your soul?
What?
Your fish.
Delicious.
I understand your carriage was stoned on the way here tonight.
Well,
We're meeting the threat on the streets head on. We're drilling with the Honourable Artillery Company.
Gentlemen volunteers,
In the event of riots, we will back the police.
every man, as long as he obeys the law of the land, should be free to pursue his own interest in his own way.
Yes, of course.
Charge what he likes for bread or anything else for that matter. Laissez-faire. Let individuals compete and struggle for their advantages. Good night.
Good night.
Right. Whenever I can't sleep, I reach for Malthus. Or as I prefer to think of him, the Reverend T.R. Morpheus. Still warm. 2 brandies.
Yes, sir.
The natural tendency of mankind is to reproduce. Humans can double their numbers every 25 years.
But they don't. A struggle for resources slows growth, and death and disease, war and famine check the population. I know the argument.
Yes, but don't you see exactly the same struggle takes place throughout nature? I don't know why I didn't make the connection before. Why are we not overrun with insects and frogs? Well, given the rate at which they reproduce, the number of eggs produced by each and every female.
Nature's broom sweeps away the ugly ducklings, the runts.
Yes, but it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Sometimes it's the ugly ducklings that are better adapted to the situations of life. They have longer legs and can run faster. They have bigger beaks that can crack harder nuts and seeds in harsh winters. They survive, have more offspring. Nature selects them to pass on their traits to future generations.
And where do we fit in?
Well, the sun does not revolve around the earth. Nature does not revolve around man. Man must fall into nature's cauldron. He's no deity, no exception. Once you accept that species can pass into one another, the whole fabric totters and falls.
They'll burn you at the stake for this.
Yes.
But now you have a theory. So I said, don't come down the ladder, Mother. I've taken it away. Good evening.